And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? Today is Soulful Sunday, 420. Yes, Art for Change podcast. I am your host, Mississippi Sexual. And today I got my man, Matt Marshall, co-hosting with me. What's up, my boy?
Don't forget Eastern.
Eastern. Yes, sir.
It's also Eastern Sunday.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Resurrection Sunday. What's up, too?
You still
Um,
in Earn Sunday.
how you doing today, my man?
Good.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. What you do today? You do any festivities for Easter or Resurrection Sunday?
Let's see. I went to hibachi dinner, little dinner thing with some family. Then I went home and watched the Celtics beat the Magic to take game one of the playoffs.
Also, Celtics got game one.
Yes. Tatum got injured though. I'm
Hey,
not liking that.
Tatum got injured?
He hit
No.
his wrist.
Ay, ay, ay. He'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back. The last Celtics got game one, though. I am a Celtics fan. I didn't miss, and I
As
also
long
didn't miss
as
that game.
the Stars get, I think the Stars need to be more active at the beginning of the game. Though they waited till later on in the game to become active.
Yeah. Well, it's game one, man.
He wasn't even having that good of a game. It was Pritchard going off. It was Pritchard. It was the sixth man of the year just going off in the first half.
Going on. Yeah. Well, they got to share the sugar. You know what I mean? If a guy got the hot hand, you got to feed that hot hand. You know. Uh, and then I think it also it saves the star players to the moments where they really need them. You know. Let We got y'all to the playoffs. Let's see what y'all role players can do for the first half,
But
so
I'm
to speak.
sorry, your fourth or fifth option is not the main goal in the playoffs. Maybe in the first round, okay, I'll accept game one of the first round. But the
Yeah.
playoffs is not built for your fourth or fifth option.
Right. Right. I mean, it's not it's no surprise. I mean, even LeBron is notoriously known for losing game one of the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I think that's just natural, bro. I think they take their first playoff series light unless it's a team that they feel like is very competitive that can get them out of there. Then you really see them come alive. You probably see them come alive game two, or to go ahead and do like a sweep type of thing. You'll see them really come alive.
I
Um,
see it going at least five.
yeah. Um, oh,
That Heat Cleveland series is going to be is going to be the one I like. I think if the Heat can drag that one on and make Cleveland tired, I'll like that.
I like that too. But do you think the Heat could do it without uh Butler?
Wiggins,
Now that he's
the
now that he's
Wiggins can play now. Jimmy was playful, but Jimmy couldn't shoot the three or anything like that. He wasn't consistent from the three.
you're right,
And
right.
now he's on a team that shoots threes and they're out of the playoffs. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, yeah. But I think they was on a down spiral before he got there. I think he
Yes.
was like trying to will them to the playoffs. I think he willed them to the play in. You know, so I feel like that's for something. But yeah, but do you think so? So you think that Andrew Wiggins is a better caliber as far as a better dynamic player for the team?
He's not going to score as much, but he's defensively, he shuts down Tatum in the East, and that Tatum gives him fits in the East. So why wouldn't Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra bring him over there? Considering the problems, if you're looking at the playoffs, Derek White matches up with uh Derek White matches up with Hero. Bam would
True,
go against Horford and Porzingis,
right?
or
I think the Heat and Celtics is a good series, but I still think the Celtics got too many people coming out the bench. I think their second string is just as good, so to speak.
yes.
Yeah, I think that the boys that's cover up the bitch can run the floor just as well as the starters.
I
I
might
mean, of
not be
course.
mentioning the Knicks, and that's because I have no faith in in Big Cat. I have no faith in Carl Anthony Towns.
a lot of people feel like Carl is soft a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they were saying the same thing
when
about
he loses the playoffs in New York, and that media and everybody gets a hold of him, we're really going to see how soft Cat really is.
I
Because
mean,
right
but
now they're
well,
riding a high, but when they fall under and he disappoints and everything like that, say it's the new. I see you in New York or Cleveland meet in Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. So say Cat goes against Porzingis and Porzingis puts his dick in the dirt.
yeah, that'd be ugly to see. But Horford is a OG, and I think he shines in those moments. You know what I mean? I think, and the Celtics, they got a chip on their shoulder now. You know what I mean? They got a chip now. They feeling themselves. So,
Yeah, but how hard is it to go back to back? How many people win a championship and don't not go back to back? Denver didn't do it.
but they got a lot of the same pieces.
Yeah, they got a lot of the same pieces. They're just structured very well.
They got a lot of the same pieces. So I think because they have a lot of same pieces and them boys is good, it's comfortable playing with each other and found their groove. I think they'll be all right.
People were
I think
talking about Denver being the team to beat and everything, and them coming out of the West and meeting the Celtics for the last couple of years. Denver won their championship, and now they fired their head coach.
crazy, crazy. And then you see, and I mean they get in the playoffs, but it seems like they just can't get over that hump.
Nope.
So but who we ain't gonna say to what reason is that, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I was always told. Um, but tonight's topic's been we got commercializing of holidays. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people who like to profit off of these holidays and they kind of take away from some of the real essence. Some people call it Easter, some people call it Resurrection Sundays. So let me ask you, how do you think commercialization of holidays have altered the way people celebrate these occasions?
Why is it that church is in the morning and well, that's another answer that I was jumping ahead to this one later. I'll get into that one later. Uh, why is it? Because they've made such a religious holiday into such a corporate holiday because we live in corporate America and not an under God America.
Mm, that's deep. I like that. That is true. And why do you think that is though? Why do you think we should come to that? Why do you think that is their agenda?
The almighty dollar.
Almighty dollar. The almighty dollar. A lot of people will tell you that the Sabbath is Saturday instead of Sunday.
The way we're
Uh,
going, do you know who the forefathers of Mars are going to be?
who's that?
Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. They're going to be the forefathers of Mars when they land there and start developing there before anybody else gets there. They're going to be the founders of Mars. They're going to have investments on another planet before other people even get there.
I mean, that's what you do when you have billions of dollars, hundreds of billions. Yeah, these guys' pockets are very long in their investments. Um, I think, I think, I think the commercialization of holidays has really taken away from the essence of what Christmas or Easter was supposed to have originally mean. Um, I think now it is a big marketing thing. You see Easter merchandise on the shelves way before April gets here. Same
I
way
was
which you
just going to
see,
say that. Walk in the stores tomorrow and what's the next holiday coming?
yeah, it's gonna already be
What
prepped
is
for
it?
it.
St. Patty's Day?
I think we just had St. Patty's Day, right? That
Yes,
was
yes.
March.
Oh, so what do we
I
got?
think Mother's Day should be next.
Yes, Mother's Day, and then it's 4th of July sometime after that.
Yeah, Mother's Day, Father's Day, then Fourth of July.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there'll already be a brand new shelves for your brand new holiday, ready there and waiting for you. The other one barely left, but we're ready and we're warming you to the new one coming up right there. They're just enticing you. Their job is to entice you to things.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
enticing you to purchase, enticing you to do things, enticing.
yeah. I mean, as soon as like October, I mean, excuse me, not October. As soon as September or August get here, as soon as it get fall, you're going to see Halloween memorabilia and merchandise. As soon as it gets to the end of October, I mean literally, like you just said, November 1st, you don't a lot of times you don't even see Thanksgiving things before you see the Christmas things. They
Yes.
already have Christmas lights and the trees out and the colors for Christmas. It seems like instead of it being something
And I got a
um
question. Christmas is supposed to be the happiest time of the year.
right.
Where do you go when it's really happy? Is there any way anywhere you can get to and be like, you know what, this is makes me feel good? Because it's certainly not New York City at Christmas time, because that place is fucking hell. It's certainly not Disney World, because that's a bunch of screaming three footers.
I guess the places you would go would be family. I think that time most people spend time with family during
The
the
holidays.
holidays.
And don't most families get into fights because they have this perception of that holiday or something like that? They have this glorified feeling that it needs to be so spectacular and so un- unrealistic and perfect and everything like that, that this one ruins it by saying this, and that one drank too much, and this one did this, and this one did that, and then you know it's a fucking argument and you hate each other.
If you have a dysfunctional family, when a lot of dysfunctional members get together, it might create some dysfunction. Absolutely, absolutely. It may, but I think it is appreciated though. I think when I was a child,
And that's where I think the soberness comes into play.
yeah,
I
when I
like the
was a
soberness, and I'm not talking about alcohol. I'm talking about soberness away from everybody else.
yes, yes, like isolation,
Yeah,
stubbornness, right, right. Um, so when I was a child, holidays seemed to be a lot bigger. Family took it a little more
serious.
serious. Yeah, man. And it was a lot more togetherness. I think in this day and time, man, family is so separated. Like you said, it's a lot of dysfunction amongst the family. And I think just the essence of what a holiday should mean has now been watered down to who has the best Christmas tree and who can wrap their gifts the best, who gave out the best gift, and who hang the elf on the shelf the best and took
As
better
a kid,
pajama
you,
pictures.
as a kid, you wanted to ride around and go to see the decorated houses. Who had the cool decorated houses? As an adult, it's I'm gonna have the decorated house.
Yeah, absolutely. This is true. And I think it's more about that than, Jesus' birthday or Resurrection Sunday, about Jesus being crucified and rising on the third day. I think a lot of people may not know those stories behind Resurrection Sunday or or the essence of Easter or the Passover,
I'd
however they
like
want to
to
word
do
it.
a survey on how many people know that the ash on Wednesday is the palm from Sunday.
Right. A lot of people wouldn't know a lot of the significance behind the holiday versus the commercialization behind the holiday. A lot of people know about hiding the Easter egg
Yes.
and boiling
And
eggs
it's
and
so
coloring them.
commercialized. It's so commercialized. And I think we talked about this on the phone. that they've been running the same Cadbury eggs commercial since I was a kid, and I'm in my fucking 40s. That Cadbury fucking Easter bunny has got to be dead by now, along with that lion and any other animal in that freaking commercial. They haven't made a new one since in years. They've been running the same commercial at the same time every year for the last years. They haven't made a new one or nothing, and they're still profiting off of it. So either they're geniuses because they've never made another commercial and they're still profiting off that one, or they fooled everybody and look and schooled everybody saying, "Hey, look, you don't need to change your advertising because we haven't done it in centuries
Right.
or decades." Excuse me.
Understood. In your opinion, what is the core message behind holidays such as Easter or Christmas that is often overshadowed by consumerism?
Faith.
Say so, brother.
What are people believing in other
Right.
than themselves?
And I think it's a lot of people that I feel like have no faith. I think it's a lot of people who don't find anything to believe in. And I think those people that do often fall for anything. I
I
was
think you
once
have to
told,
believe in something. You got to look up to something, even if it's a dog, a leaf. I don't care what it happens to be. You got to look up to something. You can't go into here. You can't go through life blind and not looking forward into something.
right. That piggy. I mean, to piggyback that is there's a saying that I was taught when I was a child. It said, "Stand for something or fall for
For
anything."
everything.
You know what I mean? So find something to stand for. I absolutely agree with that. I
But
think
why do we
when
fall?
why do we fall? We fall when we're
No,
not
why do
educated.
we fall? Not when. Why?
Well, yeah, we fall because we're miseducated.
We fall to
Because
pick ourselves back up.
we fall to pick ourselves back up. Absolutely. But the reason why we fall was to learn because we was miseducated. A lot of times, the reason why you failed was because you
Weren't taught the
wasn't
knowledge.
knowledgeable of you missed the knowledge of whatever could have kept you on your feet. And getting it back up is now having that knowledge.
Yes.
You know, just like when you're riding the bike, the reason why you fell off of it because you didn't understand how to balance well. But as soon as you get your balance right, now you're riding that bike all over town. Same thing with walking. You know,
Well,
you
if that's
still
we're gonna
learning
use the
how to
bike
walk.
reference, each training wheel is a parent, one on each side.
I love that. Ooh, look at you, Marshall. You coming with some heat tonight on Soulful Sunday, brother. I
Each
like that.
parent is a training wheel, one on
Each
each side.
parent is a training wheel. I like that perception. Yes. So when do you take the training wheels off? And you know that's I like that because we can go even further because some people keep their training wheels on a little sooner, and some people they have to start off without training wheels.
Yes.
Oh man, I like that. We might have to incorporate that man into a whole segment. I like that right there.
I might have to write that one down for later. But
You might
I
have
would.
to write that one down. You may have to write that one down. Man, you were speaking on the marketing. So, how do you think the marketing strategies during the holidays impact the perception of what a holiday should represent?
I know they don't want to be pro-religious in pro at things, but I guess you could at least have. I guess they try to have inspirational ads while selling their device, while selling their product. They
Yeah.
try to hit at the heartstrings and everything with their marketing and everything. So I guess they have the intentions.
Yes. Yes. I think they do with the for
But the
Christmas.
intentions come with a price tag.
Intentions always come with a price tag, especially when you're talking about marketing. You know, for Halloween, you'll see them do little commercials. So a lot of people feel like Halloween is a pagan holiday. For Christmas, you'll see more Christmas movies and Santa themed things more than you see Jesus themed things or um, Mary and the Major. You don't really see that little setup no more. There used to be a pageant, the best Christmas pageant ever that
I
used
have
to
a
come out.
question for you.
I have an answer. What's up, brother?
Have you ever met somebody that celebrated Kwanzaa?
Yes, I have.
I have never met somebody that celebrated Kwanzaa.
I met many people that celebrated Kwanzaa, and once I learned about Kwanzaa, um, it was dope to learn about it because it was a holiday that was created from, I believe, an African man.
Yes,
Yeah,
I knew that.
and every day is like, cause see, and I think the beautiful thing about Kwanzaa is Kwanzaa can be celebrated 365. Kwanzaa is not only during Christmas season. That's the beautiful thing about Kwanzaa. I don't know enough about it, so I don't want to misinterpret what Kwanzaa really is, but I do know that Kwanzaa is something that you could be celebrated 365, and it's about like uh, a lifestyle more than just a holiday, if you
I
will.
can honestly say I've never met anybody that celebrated Kwanzaa. I've met so many other religions and everything like that. I have never met anybody celebrate Kwanzaa, and
Well,
it's I find that weird to me.
well, Kwanzaa isn't really a religious thing, though.
But it's celebrated around the Christmas time, so you would think you would find it to be more, I don't know, a little bit more mainstream or something like that, I guess.
Right.
But
And I think it's mainstream around a certain group of people. I think if you in a certain region, you will see that it's more prominent. If you in DC, if you were Maryland, a lot of those people's Philly, a lot of those communities celebrate Kwanzaa very heavily.
yep.
Um, yeah, I think it's all about your demographic. No offense to you, but being up there in Rhode Island, Providence, you probably won't see a lot of Kwanzaa going on. And being that it was created from the African community, there's not a lot of African members in Rhode Island. Let's just be honest. um, so, what role do you think social media plays with like elaborating the commercialization of these holidays?
Can you repeat that a sec?
Yeah, I said, what role do you think social media plays in like elaborating the commercialization of these holidays?
Everybody wants to one up each other.
Yes, sir.
It's a competition.
Yeah.
Look what I got. Look what we did. Look what how pretty it is. Look at how many flowers I got. Look at the bouquet. Look at the bouquets. Look at the arrangement.
Yeah. Look at my beautiful son, the way we dress up for Easter. Because,
Yes.
Easter is all about that dress now. Yeah, that
Oh,
Easter dress. And for that man, it's about that suit. And we know we wear bright colors, the pinks, the
Easter
purples,
is the
the
mass.
candy
Easter's
blues.
is the Kentucky Derby. Is like the Kentucky Derby. People
Hmm.
dress like the same for Easter, like they do the Kentucky Derby.
How about that? Yeah, so I think it's more about a fashion statement for Easter. I think social media has turned that into more of a fashion statement than more of being a celebration of being thankful for a man who gave his life for us. I think Christmas is more about who went to the nicest vacation, who bought the nicest gift, who was able to take the prettiest pictures with their family, and who had the prettiest pajama set. You know.
I think Christmas is about trying not to get stabbed over a Tickle Me Elmo.
People go crazy, especially
Yes, they
Black
go
Friday.
crazy for what there will. There's always one toy a year that people go fucking ballistic over. It's
The PlayStation 5 was it for 1 year. The Black Friday, I remember like somebody died
There was
over a PlayStation
Furbies,
5. Furbies was a big
Furbies.
thing. Yeah, yeah. And we stood outside the store for all type of things, bro. Even when I was younger, I remember standing outside the store when flat screens first came out and it was a big hit.
I've never
Uh,
celebrated Black Friday.
yeah, man. Yeah,
I've never
when
waited outside in a line for
I
Black
did,
Friday at midnight or
I
something
did.
like that for the stores to open up or anything like that. I've never done that in my life, and I have no intentions to ever.
I won't do it now, but I did it in my youth. I did. Yeah, absolutely. I stood outside maybe like 3 in the morning for a flat screen TV when they first started to come out, and I got my TV too. I got my TV too. Couldn't tell me nothing. Now TVs come out now flat screens is like an everyday thing.
Now
When it
they got
first came out,
85-inch flat screen TVs. They
man,
got
talk
flat
about it.
wall TVs. They're not
We
flat
got flat
screens, they're
wall TV.
flat wall TVs.
Yeah, now projections is becoming a big thing. I see a lot of people got projectors in their house. That's starting to become a big
I
thing
was trying to push projection years ago.
now. Yeah, a lot of man caves I done been in got the projection set up, and it's dope too. Especially if you go to it when they got the room where they can have like the blackout shades and things of that nature.
I've
Uh,
seen the I've seen the jumbotrons above the pool tables. That's kind of my dream. The little jumbotron with little screens, and it looks like a
yeah,
jumbotron from inside a stadium. It's got
yeah,
screens like it and everything above a pool table instead of the light and everything. Yeah, I like that.
I think that'd be dope, bro. We might have to manifest that one day. Might have to be in the lobby about office space for the art for change, man. Because this is going to be something that we at some point come to an office space and do every day, man. We're gonna have our own little fun sway when they people come and check in with us at art for change. In what ways do you think individuals and families reclaim the spiritual significance of holidays amidst the commercial frenzy?
I think the older they are, the more they try to push the older, more traditional ways. I think the younger they are, they care more about the what's new and hot.
Yeah, this is true. I agree with that. I believe my older generation have more of a traditional way to approach holidays, and my younger cousin and younger generation, they don't seem to know the real essence behind some of the holidays that they celebrate. I know a lot of young people who may not even know the real essence behind a Passover, the real essence behind Easter, the real essence behind Christmas, because of the big Santa
I think
and
the
Easter
only
Bunny.
time people get it right is midnight mass on Christmas. Cause why are you going to Easter church and Easter mass in the morning if you at the end of the day if you're gonna spend all day causing mayhem or ruckus or whatever, and then on a glorious, supposed to be religious holiday, and then at the end, supposed to move on and be okay. If you celebrate it, why shouldn't you celebrate it at midnight and do everything, sin during the day and repent at night? Why do the sinning during the why do the repenting in the morning and the sinning during the day? Why not repent why not sin during the day and repent at night?
Hmm, that's absolutely right. That's a good perception on that. Why do we sin through the day and not pray at night, or not ask for forgiveness at night? Why does church go? Why do they put church in the morning and not at night?
I don't know.
That is a very good perception of that. I think. I mean, because even as a small child, I would talk the Lord's prayer for sleeping.
Exactly.
Because
So why I think the midnight mass on Christmas Eve or Christmas or
yeah,
Christmas Eve, I want to say Christmas Eve on seems to make more sense to me than early morning mass on Easter or something like that when you're doing your repenting in the morning and then sinning throughout the rest of the day. Shouldn't you do your sinning during the day and repent at night?
I would agree. I would agree. I think you need to wake up praying and thinking, and then feel like you need to go to sleep praying and thinking. And this is why, not for nothing, I really can respect the Muslim culture because Muslims pray several times a day, not just during Ramadan, you know. And they have a certain way that they pray. They don't just go to God with snot in their nose, coals in their eye, dirt in their fingernails. To
They
them, they
wash
believe,
their hands, they wash their feet, their prayer rugs are always facing towards the Holy Land. Yes.
yes, sir. They believe cleanliness is like the godliness, and they separate themselves from God, and they hold Him at such a high regard. So I respect their respect towards God, and the reason why they cover their women is so that their men remain God consciousness. You know what I mean? So the men can keep their God consciousness, should I say? So the men are not lustful by the things that they see with their eyes. Um, so I respect their respect towards God. So I think it's a misconception of what people think a Muslim is versus what the TV and media and the news would tell you.
Yes.
A lot of people
A
don't
few
even know that.
bad apples spoil the bunch.
Absolutely, a lot of people don't know that the term jihad is a conflict within oneself, but they'll tell you that it's a militia group. Yeah. So it's
That
like
goes
when
into a different topic that I don't want to go into on Easter and where I think our next war will be held.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll hold that one for another day.
Yeah, we'll hold that for another day. But yeah, man, people really should educate themselves on all spectrums of life. Not just holidays that we're speaking on today, but it is 420. Um, so, like, do you respect businesses that profit off of holidays, that commercialize holidays? I mean,
How
all
can
of
I
us,
not? Isn't the
right?
church commercial making money off God Himself?
Say so.
Aren't these mega churches just money farms? How
It
can
seems to
I
be.
judge anybody else if the people if the have you ever seen how much the Vatican's worth and what they how much they intake?
No, but I do believe that some of these mega churches, preachers make seven-figure salaries easily.
Exactly. So if they can be making money off, why can't anybody else?
Hey, I have to agree with you. I feel like you can't say that you don't support them when you go to Walmart every other day. You can't say you don't support them when you buy a Pepsi product every other day.
How about you
But
practice what you preach?
practice what you preach. I think that is a big thing. I think that is a huge thing. So, what way can speaking on practice of what we preach? What example could local communities do successfully to preserve the message of the original holiday? You said practice what you preach. How can we? What is an example of us practicing what we preach? If we
Why is there no parades for religious holidays? What what didn't Jesus walk and carry a cross? Why is there no parade for that?
why is no symbolization that in the parades? Is what
Yes.
you're saying? Yeah, yeah. Good question. Where's the answers? Because we need
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just
them. What's going on, Brooke? How you doing? We see you, love. Hey, Miss Brooke. What is your opinion on the commercialization of holidays? Do you believe in Easter? Do you believe the Easter Bunny, or do you believe in the Passover? Is it the Resurrection Sunday, or is it time to go hide some Easter eggs? What is that for you? And all my listeners on Instagram, if y'all come over to YouTube, we're able to
I
see
got a
your comments in
question.
real time.
Who invented the
Yes, sir.
Easter bunny? And since when do bunnies lay eggs?
That's a good question. Do the Easter Bunny lay eggs? Do he collect eggs? Because see, I don't really know the significance.
I'm pretty
As a
sure
matter
the
of fact,
Easter bunny lays eggs.
I'm about to look up who created the Easter Bunny. Let's see. I'll bring it up on the big screen for everybody. Let's see. Let's see what Wikipedia says about the Easter Bunny. Even though we can only halfway uh, believe what Wikipedia says, but it's the closest thing we got. So let's run with it. Let's see. Share screen. Easter Bunny. Wikipedia. The Easter Bunny is a fork figure, the symbol of Easter, the pic of this rabbit. Yeah, okay, so when was it created? Let's go down, let's see. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so in 1682, bro, the first mention was a George. What is that? Frank? Is it supposed to be Frank with a K now? George Frank Von. I don't know how you say his last name. Go ahead,
Where are
go for
you
that.
reading?
Go for that. Mad Hatter.
Oh, no, where are you reading?
Hold on. Can you see it? You gonna see it on your end, huh? Let me fix the page. Uh-oh. Read that for me while I fix this, man.
I'm from the South. Easter is a big thing, especially for these Bible Belt states, even though I had to work today. The Lord knows my heart. He knows I had to get that time and a half.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, so
The
you
Easter
with me now?
Bunny, or also called the Easter Rabbit or Easter Hare, is a folklore figure, a symbol of Easter depicted as a rabbit, sometimes dressed in clothes, bringing Easter eggs. Originating among German Lutherans, the Easter Hare originated playing the role of judge, evaluating whether children were good, disobedient, or in behavior at the start of the season of Eastertide, similar to the naughty or nice list from Santa Claus. As part of the legend, the creature carries colored eggs in a basket as well as candy and sometimes toys to the homes of children. As such, the Easter Bunny again shows similarities to Santa and Christmas by bringing gifts. The custom was first mentioned by Greg Frank von Frankenschnus,
In
the
1682.
referring to
Yeah,
the
that's why I said,
German folklore belief that the Easter hare laying hidden eggs in garden and bushes for children to find.
so the Easter Bunny hid the Easter eggs. Was
Yes.
their story? Ah, and see, little long history fact, everybody, because I didn't even know that myself. So a German guy in 1682 created the concept of the Easter Bunny. Now we know who created that. Shouts out to Frank, George Frank. So it's funny that you see they had the depiction of the Easter Bunny was a similar story to Santa. That's
Yes.
what it sounds like.
Yes.
Whole naughty and good list, and the Easter
It's
Bunny
just
dropping off
for
his gifts
springtime.
just for springtime. another way for marketing. It seems
Yes.
like.
I like to know what Frank did for a living. He's probably in advertising.
That friend was probably in marketing. If I had to guess. So let me ask you, what are some specific traditions or rituals that you believe help keep the spiritual essence behind these holidays? Like, what are some things that you typically see or was taught growing up? What traditions did y'all have for Christmas or for Easter?
Well, I know as a kid it was church in the morning with the grandparents and the family, and then we would go either to our house or the grandparents. Sorry. Listen, I'm an adult and I'm a little upset about not getting an Easter basket. Yes, I, I
Yeah,
would get Easter. Well, if I was a kid and I was getting Easter gifts, it would be like a new baseball glove and a new ball to start the baseball season coming around. Maybe a kite because it was kite flying season when I was young.
yeah,
But as I got older, it was it was a ham. It was a ham meal. We would cook a ham. We would celebrate Easter by cooking a ham.
yeah. Easter's been a cookout. We used to have, well, we have Easter Passover Sunday at the church. Then typically, a lot. I come from a small church family, so like the whole church will have like a I don't even know what's the word you would want to call that. What's the word for that? But we have like a church dinner after the congregation ends. Um, then it'd probably be like a Easter egg hunt at
A
the church.
congregation feast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have a congregational feast. Um, then it'd probably be like an Easter egg hunt amongst the kids. But I think that was just something that was literally done for the kids. But I can even remember like my family having their own cookouts and family reunions right around Easter time as well. It was kind of like you knew spring was coming because we started to
Yes,
have family reunions and things of that nature.
seeing people that you haven't seen for months and everything.
Yes, yes, and like like Brooke just saying, like I want some food. Food has always been something associated with Easter as well, like cookouts and family getting together and the hierarchy of the family making, the dishes to feed everyone. And I'm a big
Maybe going to an amusement park or on opening day because they would open that day or something. Going to a park or something like that.
yes, yes. I can remember being out in the water because I'm from the south, so it's always warm around this time. And I'm big on candy too, Brooke. So yes, I really appreciated some of the candies that came along with Easter. Um, I think I started associating jelly beans to Easter. I don't know what it is, but a lot of Easter eggs, the little plastic ones, always had jelly beans in them. I don't know. But I liked the Easter when I was a child because they would put money in the eggs.
Yes, some of them eggs would have money in it that you had to find. Yes, we did that last year.
Yeah, man.
Me and my cousin did that idea for the kids last year.
Yeah, man. So I definitely appreciated uh finding the one with the most money. That's what I was looking for. I was like, because I think they started doing it for the bigger kids. Like for the candy was like if you was like 10 and under, it was all candy. If you was 10 and up for the teenagers, they put money in the eggs. A dollar. Some of them may have five in it. Like one egg may have $100 in it. Things of that nature.
Yeah.
Who the hell eats jelly beans? I don't know who eats jelly beans, but I remember when I was growing up. I'm 35, so when I was growing up, they were putting jelly beans in them eggs. Yes,
Well,
uh,
if you
and we
got the Jelly Belly jelly beans, those were good.
yeah, and I think they got colorful jelly beans. They just got because the jelly beans they meant to look like the Easter eggs, so to speak. It's just that the only jelly beans that I really didn't mess with is the black one.
Well, then they made the Hogwarts jelly beans, the Harry Potter jelly beans that made them taste like vomit and the weird flavors and stuff like that.
They said it. She said, y'all be stingy with the money. We don't want that funky dollar. You playing, girl? Shit, I didn't mind. Listen, I was a smart kid, so if I could get 40 eggs and they all was $1, I had $40. So I didn't care if it was $1 egg or not. I just wanted. I was trying to get them out. I was trying to get them out. Yeah, I remember having a good Easter egg hunt when I was a kid one time. I think came up with maybe like $100 or something, and spent it all on at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Thought I was rich. Because back then, $100 took you a long way. $100 ain't gonna take you too much of nowhere nowadays.
Nope, not even a basket of groceries, and you'll wonder what you paid for $100 when you leave the grocery store. You're like, what the hell did I buy? Damn,
Yeah,
this one monster drink is $100. This is fucking ridiculous.
$100, man. She's expensive now. She's expensive. But we cannot forget another day that today is. Easter fell on 420 today. Um, are you a 420 celebrator, sir?
I smoke every day, so 420 is just another day.
Respect, respect. What do you say to those people who get real big and real excited about the 420? And do you think people even know where 420 came from?
There's multiple conflicting stories about 420.
Yes,
There's
I did some research today.
so you know about the college kids?
I know about the Waldos.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Come on, baby. I told you I did my research today. Yes, I know about the Waldos. Yes, I know about the Waldos. I'm appreciating those activities. I'm an angel. Well, thank God that you're an
Brooke, have
angel.
you ever turned 21? Then you celebrated your version of 420.
You had that bottle on your 21st.
Welcome to 420. That only.
Welcome to 420.
420.
So it used to be a time they would do it at 420.
420, yes.
Yes, man. They used to meet up at the wall, man. Blow it down at 420, and they was looking for a certain strand. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
that was when they all would get together and do the little research trying to find this strand. A lot of people don't even know that that's what it didn't even associated with Bob Marley until a lot later. Yeah,
Nope.
so it's a lot of misconceptions on the 420. The police use it as a term as well. So it's a
Yes,
lot.
it's also the police term.
Yes. So I did my research on 420 today, bro. I did my research on 420 today. I was surprised with what I came up with because I did not know, and I've been consuming cannabis for a long time. But even the original story, the original origination of the story 420 still have cannabis associated with it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Brooke says, I'm almost 30, laughing my ass off. All I remember is going to the liquor store when I swiped my ID and it played a little song. So yeah, she means that, aka she turned up. She don't even remember what happened that night. She was like, all I remember is the store. I went and got it, and that's all I can remember. I don't remember much. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you a funny story about that. So I'm a little off topic, but so what? It's our podcast. When I was 15 years old, my mom took me to go get an ID for a job so I can work. The man was flirting with my mom. My mom had wide hips and a big butt when she was younger. Um, and he was flirting with her or whatever. The man put the wrong age on my ID. He made me a whole year older. So at 15, I get a certified real ID from the state. and I'm a whole year older. She's like, is there anything wrong with this information? I seen that he put 89 instead of 90. And I didn't say a motherfucking word. I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna be a year older for the rest of my life. So even to this day, my ID says 89 instead of 90, and I was born in 90 instead of 89. So, but the funny thing about that is I was 20 years old. ID said 21. Walked in the store, racked up on the liquor, and brought it for the game, and I did not even drink because even then I was not um, a big drinker. I could
Yes.
never hold my liquor down. I, no matter, I thought I was for the youngest because I mean I was trying to hang with the peers, and all my friends were big drinkers. I would try to kick it with them and drink. Every time, it would never fail. Liquor will always come back up. So now, I've always been a high consumer of cannabis. I've been smoking cannabis since I was like 13 years old. I had an older cousin who was a high consumer. I stayed with them for a summer. They allowed me to smoke 3 times with them. It was a wrap after that. Couldn't tell me nothing.
I
Um,
smoked cannabis once while I was 16, and I didn't smoke it again until I was 28.
oh, you had a large gap without it too,
Yes.
but you had the military, so you couldn't.
No, but I tried it once, and I never. I tried it once. I never got into it or anything. I wasn't into it as a kid or anything like that. I wasn't smoking throughout high school or anything like that. And then I joined the service and everything, so I didn't smoke until I was 28.
He said this was I was 28. That's dope. And he said I'm a high consumer now, baby. So yeah.
I'm
She said
just
having
catching up. I'm just trying to catch up. Catching
this how
up
I'm
on
trying to
lost
catch
time. Catch up on lost
up.
time.
She said having wide hips and a big butt will take ladies many places. She said we will go far. Yes, I think all men will fall subject to a woman with some nice hips and a big butt. I think any man that is a man can appreciate those features. Um, she said I drink for everybody. Right? Yeah. I don't mind buying liquor for the party to have a good time, but I'm not a consumer of the liquor like
See,
that.
I do have a problem.
What's your problem? You like both?
Nope, I'm not gonna, because she said she'll drink for everybody, but
Hmm.
I don't want to be with a girl that's drunk and I'm sober, and then something happened, and then I get involved with something because she was in under the right state of mind and everything like that.
Hmm.
So yes.
Right. So it's a lot of activism behind 422. A lot of people, they get together in large groups and smoke in public, as a form of activism for trying to
Yes.
get laws to pass for legalization for marijuana consumption, saying that it has more medicinal purposes than you know.
Actually, I just watched a really interesting music video that talks about marijuana and the consumption and the activism and everything. The Last Dance of Mary Jane with Snoop Dogg and Jelly Roll off his new album Missionary. They dropped a music video for it, and it's quite
Yeah,
an acid trip if you want to watch it. If you want to check it out sometime, it's
I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Um, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Man, what do you think is some of the ethical things or disadvantages about um, cannabis now? Where you got people lacing weed with fentanyl. I had a family member, not a close family member, but a
the
distant family member.
reason they're lacing it with fentanyl is the reason Congress should be pushing it to get it legalized and everything. So because the dispensaries and everything is a lot much safer process than it buying it off some guy on the street. Because let me tell you, if you're gonna give me homegrown stuff, it better be worth the damn. I don't want this homegrown that's less than Reggie and slightly above oregano.
Yeah, Not even that, but the things that they're doing to trying to potentize the weed, you know, putting pesticides on their plants and things of that nature, man. Things that are very harmful to your lungs. That it's taken away from like the medicinal purpose of marijuana. Brooke chimed in and said, she said, I want to drink and dance. I'm such a good time when I drink. When I drink, I can't smoke. I think too much. Smoking doesn't help. Oh, she doesn't. Um, I smoking definitely does open up my thought process. So if you are the type of person that want to consume your thoughts and uh not be overwhelmed with them, you might not want to indulge in the cannabis because it definitely will open up that mind frequency. I would say. What's your thoughts on that, man?
It definitely opens up your mind and everything like that. But as far as I think the, I think a lot of the peaceful protests were because of uh use of cannabis. If you think back to the 60s, a lot of those protests were very peaceful. If you think back to the protests of the 60s and when they all merged on DC and everything like that, that was way more peaceful than you see the protests happening now. They weren't, you don't see footage of them burning cars or anything like that. You might see them
Right,
taking up the whole lawn and taking up a mass majority, and they all got signs and everything, and they're holding speeches. But there's no footage of cars burning, buildings burning, or anything like that.
right, right.
Well, you saw it during some of it, but
I
mm,
agree with you. I agree with you. I think protesting used to be considered peaceful. That was the whole point of a protest, was supposed to be like a peaceful protest. And I think a lot of us have lost the essence of what a peaceful protest looks like, especially some of these young people. I think they're just out there to cause a ruckus rather than to spread a message. You know,
how
a lot of
many?
people.
That's a good question. How many people show up to these protests just looking to start violence, and
Yeah,
knowing that they can cover their face up and cause fucking problems and everything like that, and knowing they probably ain't gonna get caught because they got their face covered up, and they're just
right. And
there to cause mayhem. They just want to be involved with something.
I believe that's a lot of people. She said, hearts get to racing. She starts to panic. I heard a lot of people say that they get paranoid when they smoke. Have
Yes,
you ever had
no,
a trip or you got paranoid from smoking too much
yes, I
marijuana?
have.
Yeah.
Yes. So the psychotropics that will happen to some people. Yes, they will have anxiety attacks from the psychotropics.
Oh, okay. She said she doesn't mind. She said her mom smokes and she's like 65. She said, but she doesn't smoke the flower. She smokes dabs and crumble. Okay. Different people have their ways
There
of
was
consumption.
yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I, I'm a type of person that I believe there's a misconception on cannabis. I think there a lot of people don't realize the medicinal purposes of marijuana versus uh,
Pharmaceuticals.
pharmaceutical versus people feel like it's just like a habit forming drug. I disagree with that notion. Um, and I hear people say that it's a gateway drug. I also disagree with that notion. Because
I could understand the habit forming one. I don't understand the gateway one.
yeah, okay, I agree with that. I can, I mean, and I could agree with that. Okay, habit forming, yes. Addiction, maybe not so much. Um, I I I enjoy smoking, but if my priorities outweigh how much I have to spend on smoking, I can go without smoking to maintain my priorities.
Yes.
And I think that's the difference to separate it from being an addiction because it's more like a choice. It's like people who are a social drinker. You know, you may not buy you a bottle every week, but if you got a little extra to spend this week, you may buy you a bottle. That type of thing.
Mm.
It's that way with marijuana. If you got it. you can afford to. But the thing about it is,
See,
most people
I
who
see.
smoke,
don't, I
smoke
don't see social
work so they can
drinkers
afford it.
buying. I don't see social drinkers buying a bottle. I see social drinkers as people going out and maybe, going out and wanting to be a part of the nightlife and not being a hermit and sitting at home. So they might go out and have a drink or one or two while out. That's what I'm more of a social drinker. I see. I don't
Right.
see if you're sitting at home with a bottle, that is not social drinking. That's that's isolation drinking.
It's isolation drinking. Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. I stand corrected. I like that. People who isolate drink will probably can relate to that. If you're the type of person who will grab you a bottle every once in a while when you can afford it, but you're not going to spend your last rent money on a bottle. Same way with marijuana. Nobody who buys marijuana is going to spend their rent money on it. I'm terrified of addiction. I watched my dad become addicted to Percocets, and appreciate. That's why I don't participate in drug use. I agree. Um, I have friends who have substance abuse problems, and I agree with you because I got to witness the way my friends respond to certain drugs. It prevented me from not even wanting to partake in them as well. So I can agree with that.
I watched my mom get injured at work, get prescribed pain pills and become a pain pill addict. I found out that my stepsister was taking pain pills, and then one day she overdosed on fentanyl while she was out with her friends, and they left her body outside the hospital. She was
Jesus. Well, I'm glad she's okay. That's terrible.
no, she's passed.
Oh my goodness.
My
I'm so
stepsister
sorry to hear that, bro.
passed a few years back. She overdosed with she was out with friends and they left her outside the hospital. They dropped her
Oh,
off
I'm
and
so
left her
sorry,
on the
bro.
sidewalk outside the hospital.
That is terrible, brother. So you know exactly firsthand the catastrophe associated with drug use, or excessive drug use, if you will. Absolutely. That's a very touchy subject, you know. Um, and we'll have a whole segment on that, especially on Therapeutic Thursdays, um, where we'll talk on substance abuse. I think that's a good topic to touch on. Closing statement for the people. If you could give the people a message on why they should keep holidays more spiritual and less commercial, what would that message be to them?
If you're gonna find faith in yourself or something outside yourself, why not start on the holidays? If you're gonna pick a day to start finding faith in yourself and finding in faith in something, why not pick a holiday where it's automatically got a step already set up for you?
I like that. I like that. And I couldn't agree with you more. If you had to pick a day to want to step into religion or step into understanding a type of spiritualness, why not on a day where that is supposed to be
Be-
celebrated?
exactly.
Absolutely. Miss Brooks says she said my dad was a mechanic and had an engine fall on his shoulder and crushed it, and that's when the pain pill addiction started. She said I was little when that started. Yeah, I hear it often. People get in car accidents. People break a member of their body, and they get prescribed these painkillers, and then that's what starts the addiction.
Yes.
So I believe that your doctor and the pharmaceutical industries are the biggest drug dealers, and I believe they turn more people addicts than anybody that you ever seen on the street. Any type of street pharmacist that you ever seen. The only reason why they're getting clientele is a lot of times is because they can't get the medication from the doctor anymore. Um,
And then they
so
need to up the need something stronger to yes.
yes,
So they
or
start
or,
going
or 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 something synthetic.
yes.
Because a lot of times that's what you're getting in the street. You're getting a synthetic form of the medication that you were getting and prescribed. Absolutely. Um, so, and it's in the more dangerous settings, typically, you know. So yeah, I think doctors and pharmaceutical industry large responsible is largely responsible for the opioid, how you say it, opioid,
Opioid epidemic.
the opioid epidemic. Yes, sir. Get that words right. At least, yeah, I don't take medicine, so I don't know the term. But yes, I think that is they are the main people responsible for the epidemic. Absolutely. Um, any type of controlled substance, I think it all starts with being addicted to something that was prescribed to you initially. I hear that often. Xanax, people that are on antidepressants, uh, people who got anxiety, people who are dealing with pain, even people that dealing with cancer. The narcotics and pain medicine from cancer, people get addicted to as well. People trying to go deal with mental issues get addicted to the medication that they're taking to try to heal from a mental disconnect. And now you're getting medicine that you get addicted to and that kills you worse from now the addiction that the medication that you're taking. So I have a certain opinion. We'll talk about that on another subject, I mean, on another day. But I have a certain opinion about modern day medicine and doctors. I
Yes.
think I think I think more doctors are unethical in this day and time than ethical. I think it's more about a dollar than it is about actually curing people. I think they make more money treating us than curing us. And I think once they
Why is it so many people are going to other countries for
for
procedures and
treatment,
everything?
yeah,
And we're not talking about small treatments. We're talking about big treatments. We're talking about
big
regular,
treatments,
and we're talking about everybody from athletes to everything. Kobe Bryant going overseas to get
get
so
that
he
ankle
can
shit. Yeah,
so he can
I
get
remember.
so he can continue to
Yeah,
play in the NBA.
yeah, he got that ankle surgery done, and it was like a that foot surgery done. It was like experimental.
Yes.
Yeah, bro, I be knowing what you talking about now, baby. Yeah, you ain't saying nothing wrong. No, it's absolutely true, man, and that's my thing. I'm I'm very I'm very scared. And I know this is way off topic, but I am very scared of the power of modern day medicine and the power of doctors. Uh, Dr. Fichi or whatever his name is, Fauci.
That's why on
Um,
mine I already have a DNR.
yeah. Oh, okay. But why?
Why?
You
Because I
don't.
don't want to
You don't
be
want to
on a
give.
life. I don't want to be a vegetable.
I respect that. I respect that. I respect that. Now, are you an organ donor?
Yes,
Do you trust them in what they do with your organs, or you don't give a
I can hope. If I can look at it one of two ways. I can look at it either I'm going to go to research and end up in a morgue and they're going to study me, and I have no problem with that. If I'm going to be studied, hey, study me.
yeah,
And if I go to somebody that needs the organs, cool, even better. But
right.
I have no problem if I end up in a morgue being studied. Hey, you want to look at my put my brain in a jar and look at it all day long? Hey, that's cool for me.
I respect it. If y'all want to use me for science, by all means. She said she was has to take a half Xanny to take a plane ride. She said she gets anxiety when she does. Um, yeah, man. I think I would tell you I don't because I don't believe in medicine. I'm like, hey, CBD does similar for you as far as relaxing and for anxiety. I would try some CBD gummies before you jump on a plane. And believe it or not, so them CBDs at the gas station will put you on your ass. Like you eat a few of them gummies, your ass gonna take a nap. I'm sure you're gonna feel like you took some melatonin or something. Like you gonna go to sleep. Hey, if it does nothing for you, that shit gonna put you to sleep. You gonna sleep very good, peacefully too.
Yes.
Yeah, I done had some CBD gummies put me on my ass. Absolutely. but it's how it's consumed too. When you eat things, it goes into your bloodstream a lot faster. Absolutely. But closing statement for the people, man. I think above all, just be education. Be educated on things that you want to represent. Like we said earlier, stand for something or fall for anything. And I think that's how I close out. How I close out Soulful Sunday on speaking on the commercialization of
I've had a
holidays.
good time on shrooms. I'm actually a big fan of shrooms.
See, I have not had one yet, but my brother keeps telling me I should try shrooms. I have a
I've
friend who
never
does
done
shrooms.
Molly water at a rave, but I've done
Yeah.
shrooms. I like shrooms. I'm a big fan of shrooms.
I heard people say that they like shrooms. Heard shrooms make you like smile and like see with your third eye and shit. So
I've done the shrooms some magical things. Shrooms are
See,
magical.
I've heard some people say things like this. You know, I've heard these conversations. I've heard these conversations.
I took shrooms and sat in the back seat of somebody's little little four-door coupe, and then
Mhm.
took shrooms and then sat in the back seat for 4 hours, afraid to get down because I thought that I was too high up and my feet could never touch the ground from the seat in the back seat.
Yeah. It sounds like that. The shrooms do make you a little trip a little bit. My boy
If you
said
ever
feel
know, if you
floating.
know who Mary Tyler, I think it's Mary Tyler Moore or Louis. I want to say it was Mary Tyler Moore or she's in a big rocking chair. You just see her in an oversized rocking chair, and she's like way above the things. It's an old comic thing. I can't. I don't know if it's Mary Tyler. It's not Mary Tyler Moore. But she's in a big rocking chair, and like the rocking chair is huge, and she's like on the stage, and like her feet can't touch anything. It's just way huge. That's how I felt. I felt like this
He said
back
that's
seat
how I
was
felt.
huge. This back seat was huge, and the floor was like way too far down, and I couldn't get down.
He was bugging out in the back seat. Yeah.
No, I wasn't bugging out. It was cool.
He said it was cool. He said shit. Yeah. He said shit, I can fly.
And then and once I got out of the car, I spent another couple hours outside and probably spent a few more, like some more time outside, just staring at the watermarks in the concrete that they made from the water blotches in the concrete was made,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the different characters coming to life from the water blotches.
She said I would have closed my eyes and waited out. She said she would have freaked out. Oh shit. She said it would have felt like a roller coaster ride. I think that's what I do on roller coaster rides. Like, when it go up to the top and it's gonna hit that little peak, I always close my eyes. I don't never like I don't never watch. And you know what's crazy? In my adulthood, I have not been on a roller coaster. You probably won't catch me on one now. Like I know too much. I done seen too many people fly out of one. I ain't as fearful as I once was.
See, I have no problem with roller coasters at amusement parks, but you ain't putting me on a roller coaster at no fair, no country fair, no playground,
No, no,
no,
no pop up carnivals for you, huh?
no. I those things. Have you seen the operators of those? You seen the mechanic for that guy? I wouldn't
Yeah.
trust that guy with a spork. Never mind a ratchet to fix that fucking thing.
Why is it always some kid that look like he's on his phone, not paying no attention to the ride? I was like, because like I'm older now.
You know those swings that you get on and they swing you around and everything. I'm
Yeah.
just waiting to get launched like a fucking slingshot. Like here goes,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
just gonna get launched like a rock out of a slingshot. It gets thrown 100 feet in.
I do this weird thing when I get on roller coasters. I have to like wiggle on the way down. I just have to. She said she wiggles on the way
What does
down.
that mean?
I guess she like wiggles. I don't know. I guess you wiggle it out.
I could
She didn't come.
understand if you're in those old wooden roller coasters, the ones that you be bashing your elbows on.
That's funny, man. I haven't been on a ride in a long time, bro. No, you can't. You probably can't pay me to get on one of the things now. You know what? The last amusement park I went to was a water park, Whitewater in Georgia. My good friend AK, he paid for everybody to go. He paid for everybody to have the fast passes, and that was my last time I went. And we acted like big kids, and I didn't know the power of the fast pass. Oh my goodness. When I realized the power of the fast pass, oh yeah, we abused the hell out of it. We abused the hell out of it. You got this long ass line, and it's a second line that says if you got a fast pass, go this way. And it's like nobody, because like nobody pays for it. It's $100. So we get all the way in this line, and it's like I'm like we can go all the way up, and they was like yeah, you go all the way up, like walk past people. I was like shut up. So, bro, like people like rolling their eyes, not wanting to let us pass, but we showing them the pass, so they gotta respect it. So we like people sitting in line for hours. We done did this ride 2, 3 times
Yes.
already. Yeah, so that was fun. It was a big ass kid at the water park. 4 adults too. Won't no kids with us. Yeah, we all went called hooky at work and went to the fucking water park like kids. Um, yeah, because it starts. Oh Lord, you can read that, man.
Yes, because the feeling at my coochie and it starts to weigh up. I don't like the feeling. It's hard to explain. Wiggling makes it feel better.
You learn something new every day. I tell you, boy. I tell you what. I tell you what, man. Y'all is cutting up out here, man. All right, so we'll close it out with two word associations for Soulful Sundays. So, when you hear Easter, what does that mean to you?
He's still in the urn.
You said he what?
He's still in the urn.
He's still in the urn. All right, 420.
420, probably revolution.
Revolution. I like that. I like that. So Easter for me, when I hear Easter, of course, I associate Easter with Resurrection Sunday, the Passover. That's just automatically just my first thought when I think of Easter. Um, and I think if I 420, as soon as I hear 420, of course, it's automatically, time to blaze, time to light up. I mean, even and knowing the essence behind it too, I hear people say, "Oh, it's 420, time to light up." And I didn't know what they meant by that. I thought it was just a date, but now I realize that
It's a
it
time.
was a time thing. So
Yeah.
now
You didn't know the
I think
time thing?
I didn't know the time thing. So I think
Man,
now from now on, I'm going to always associate the time thing to 420. So
yep.
yeah, absolutely.
That's like it's
Uh,
5 o'clock somewhere.
it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what they say, right? All right, man. Last closing statement for the people before I close it out.
Everything's back to normal tomorrow.
Yep, there it is. Everything back to normal tomorrow, baby. Business as normal is what they say, right?
Yes.
Business as usual. Business as usual tomorrow. Um, we appreciate y'all watching with us, man. This has been another episode of Art for Change podcast, ladies and gentlemen, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, man. And tell a friend to tune in. And if you listen to us on any audio streaming platform, you can listen to us on Spotify, you can listen to us on Amazon Music, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can listen to us on Pandora, any platform. These are the only ones that I can think of, like the big name ones. But any place that they stream podcasts, audio, you can listen to us on all of that. Download it, man. Leave us a comment so that we can get more listeners, more followers, so we continue to grow. And if you are an artist and you are trying to expand your artistry and you need a platform to showcase your amazing talent to the world, man, Art for Change is the place for you. And I mean artists of all spectrum of art, whether you are a musician, whether you write, whether you dance, whether you sing, whatever it is that you do that you consider art, whether you sculpt, whether you paint, whatever is your fancy, man. If it's in the art space, man, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to dialogue with you, interview you, and give you an opportunity to showcase your talent to the world. That's what this platform was created for. Um, until next time, baby. Art for Change. Peace and love. Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays, 9 p.m. live Eastern Time. Peace and love, baby. We out. Art for Change.